So, you want to learn to drive in Oman and get your driving license. In this video I'll be explaining about the good and the bad, and trust me, it is bad.
My instructor asked me for a he wants to buy a laptop for his daughter.
A laptop?
Laptop. So I was
Seriously?
Yeah, I was
Oh
shocked.
my god. Oman is a beautiful country. I'm in Muscat, which is the capital city, and I'm from the UK originally, so there are countries where you don't need to go through the driving lessons. Countries like USA, France, Spain, the UK, Italy, but there are a lot of countries where you need to have you need to go through the driving lessons, and you need to get your driving license that way. So countries like Thailand, India, Philippines, the GCC countries like Qatar, UAE, if you have a license from one of these countries then you're fine, but there are a lot of countries that are not included. To get your driving lessons, first of all, there are driving schools here in Oman. You'll find them online. There's half a dozen that I can think of off the top of my head, but usually what happens is if you come here then you'll meet someone and they will recommend like the guy that they used to get their license. Usually it's 7 riyal per hour, which includes the use of the car. Now the cars are all the same here. They're white and they have red diagonal stripes on them. Every single one's the same. You have to use these cars and the instructor. First of all, there's two parts to the test. You'll have to do a reversing test. That involves reversing between two barrels, and it doesn't take long, but you need to do that first, and then you'll need to probably have more lessons on the road before your instructor lets you sit your road test. So coming up in this video, I've got interviews with a couple of friends of mine who did one of them did the test, the other one came from GCC country, so he didn't have to do the test, and you'll hear from them. The guy that did take his test, Chiranjeevi, he had a bit of a bad experience, and you'll find out about that in the second interview. The first one is with Gigi, who came from Qatar. So because he had done his test in Qatar, he didn't have to take any lessons here in Oman. Chiranjeevi had very little driving experience, so he came from India and he had to sit his test, and you'll hear all about it in his interview. So I'm here with Gigi. Gigi is from Kerala, from India. Tell everyone about yourself, mate.
Fine, I'm Drake's friend Gigi. I'm working over here for PDO. I've been here. I'm over here for almost 11 years in Oman. It's a fantastic place, lovely. The best season to be over here is from November to February, when you have a very good weather. And what else? Compared to Kerala, both the places have huge mountains, a range of mountains, good terrains.
So, regarding the driving, when you came here almost 11 years ago,
Yeah,
you had already passed your test in Qatar.
exactly. I was in Qatar before, so I had passed my test from there, and I had a a license,
Yeah.
a Qatari license. Yes.
So all you had to do was go to the ROP,
Yeah.
the vehicle centre,
Yeah.
and
Which is the Royal Oman Police.
yeah, and buy the license.
Exactly. Yes.
20 riyal?
Yeah, somewhat around 20 reals. We
Yeah.
submit our Qatari license to them, and they and do some formalities. Which will take hardly around 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
They do eye testing, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if you're Omani, you still have to get your eyes tested.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do have to. Yes.
So you have, you don't get the eyes tested at the ROP. They have like they have places where they're registered.
Yes,
They'll tell you where you can go,
exactly.
and then you get your eyes tested,
Yeah, eyes tested. Yes.
and you have to pass.
Yeah.
If you fail the eye test, you don't get the approval for the license, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. But the eye test only takes 5 minutes.
Nothing more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very simple. Yeah.
And then once you get that, you then go back to the ROP
Yeah.
to get your
They,
license.
they test the license and put that online, and the ROP gets the.
That's
data
right. I
online.
remember now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you go to the shop,
Yeah.
it's already with the shop.
With the shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So they know that that you're there to take the eye test.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the license, when you got your license, I mean, when I got my license, when I first came here, it was only for 1 year. Yeah.
When I got it, it was for 10 years.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
changed.
It's
The
changed
the
now.
legislation has changed. Now it's only for your first year, you only get 12 months. And then when you renew it the second time, they give you 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We get it for 2 years. Yeah.
And I've actually renewed mine second time.
Uh-huh.
So like the first time I got 1 year,
Yeah.
second time 2 years.
Yeah.
And then when I went back to renew it, it was actually 2 years again.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
if you're an expat, it's only 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
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 But if you're Romani, I think is it 10 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
For Oman is, yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks, mate.
Thanks a lot.
Let's,
Nice time.
we'll have our coffee now.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, cheers. So I'm here with Chiranjeevi. Bro, you want to say a few words?
Yeah, hi guys, my name is Chiru, and today I'm here with Craig to give some information about how I got my driving license. And to begin with, I came to Oman back in 2022 in the month of August or around somewhere, and I started taking my driving license test in the month of September. Oh, sorry, in the month of August itself. And the procedure goes something like this, no? To obtain a driving license in Oman, no, there are certain procedures. The first, you need to have an eligibility requirement. You need to fulfill the eligibility requirements. That is, you must be above 18 years and old, and you must be having a valid visa permit in Oman. That means you will have a civil ID. And then once you get your civil ID, then very next step is to enroll yourself in a driving institution. So you can either find them online or through your colleague's reference you will be able to get a instructor.
How did you get your instructor?
Back for me, I've got an instructor through reference itself. One of my colleague has given his number, and then I got and I called him, and then he came here.
Okay.
And once we talked to him, the very first step would be to talk about the hourly rate, how much he charges per hour. So per hour it varies from somewhere between 7 to 8 reals, and some people collect 9 reals. So I gave 7 reals per hour during that time.
And how many lessons did you have? Can you remember?
Yeah, I can remember vaguely. Around it's split into 2 sections, so which I'll tell in the subsections. So once we enroll yourself to an instructor, he will ask you to get your eye test done. So you need to get your eye test, to go and visit an eye care center nearby. And then once you tell that you are applying for driving license, they will do your eye test, and they'll collect 3 real fees, and they will send it to ROP. Once you have done it, you need to inform your instructor that you have done it, and then the instructor will take you to the nearest ROP. Let's say I'm staying here in this place, the nearest ROP is Kurum. So he took me there, and then the ROP has issued me a book. It is called Green Book back then, but I'm not quite sure whether that book is still prevailing now. Now the system has introduced, the ROP has introduced the driving system in the app itself, in the app. So I don't know, not sure whether the book is still there or not.
Okay.
But back then, when I received the book contains certain regulations, rules, and the signboards regarding the traffic system in this Oman.
So that would be the theory test.
That would be that. So you get that theory. So you need to go through all the rules, traffic signals, signboards, and then it is written in English and Oman, so Arabic. So you need to understand the signals and signboards. Once you are acquainted yourself with the signal boards, then you need to inform your instructor that you're ready, and the instructor will take you to the ROP, and the ROP will ask you. He will have a certain section of signboards on his table. He will ask you, what is this, what is this, what is this. You need to answer him, and once he gets the confidence that you are all acquainted yourself with all the signboards, then he will issue us pass in the theory.
Okay, then you can.
Then you will start your practical tests on the road.
Yeah.
So in the practical section, the section is divided into two sections. One is parking test and another is road test.
Right.
So in order to go to road test, you need to clear the parking test.
So the parking is a reversing, right?
Yeah, parking is something like you will be placed in the section where drums are there on the both sides, and you need to just go into the drums, take a left, and then come back where you started, and then go into the drums, take right, and then come back again where you started.
Right.
This is a parking test. So you need to do it without touching the drums. So that is the constraint there. So back then I have took almost 10 hours of parking tests.
Lessons.
Tests. Not the test, sorry. The lessons. 10 hours of lessons, so that I got confidence that I could pull off easily. So I advise you that, until you get confidence, don't go and take the test, because for each test it will cost you around 35 riyal, and the instructor will take another 7 riyals. So it will cost you 42 riyals.
Oh, okay. So it went up then.
So
Because previously I think it was 35.
Yeah.
Which was 5 riyal for the test, and then 30 for the instructor.
No, it was 35 plus another 7.
So the price has gone up then.
So gone up. So it's a 42 riyal for each time. So it's better you spend another 7 hours and pay 49 riyals to the instructor, and get that confidence that you can easily pull up the test.
So when you went onto the road, can you remember how many lessons you had before you took your road test?
Yeah, I took almost around 10 hours of lessons, and then I have cleared the parking test in the very first attempt.
Okay.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of time, instead of going to the parking test and getting failed, it eats up around 3 to 4 hours of your time. So that test will be somewhere in Gala or somewhere, and there will be a lot of people waiting for it to clear. So I suggest you, practice well and then go for the parking test.
Okay, and then when you take your road test, how many hours was it? Can you remember?
Yeah, I still remember. Once I finished my parking test, I started the road test, and I took a lot of road tests because I don't want to, because back then I heard from my colleagues that the driving test is not easy to clear. So I don't want to take chance. So I've gone for hours of driving test. I drove in entire Muscat, Ruvi, and all the streets. It was almost coming to around at least that 20 hours to 30 hours I have practiced.
Okay. And then when you eventually passed your test, did you pass it first time?
No, I gave my first test here in Kurum, and then I failed. And I failed for just a minute mistake that I was, going close to the what we call the footpath. So that is done. And second time also, for a minor reason, I was denied. And third time again I went and I cleared it in the third attempt.
So when you finally passed your test, you told me that the instructor asked for something.
Yeah. See, here the norm is, once you clear your driving test, the instructor will ask you for a shukran. He doesn't force you. It's a norm. It's better to, once you get your driving license, you can give your heartful shukran.
Shukran meaning like you give him a gift.
Yeah, a gift. So,
and how much did you give him? 50 riyal?
No, for really, my instructor asked me for he wants to buy a laptop for his daughter.
A laptop?
Laptop. So
seriously?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Oh my god!
And then I said I could not give that much, so I have given a 50 riyal of shukran. You can give your own heartful. It's not a compulsion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So how, in the end, how much did you give him? Can you remember?
I gave him around 50 to 70 riyals because
Okay.
for every driving license test, we used to take a break in the coffee shops. I used to give him some treat there.
Yeah.
So it happened.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And he asked me when I went to India, get some, something for me. So I brought something. It's until you get the driving license, you go through it.
Wow.
One thing I want to just urge you is some instructors are a bit rash. I mean, I don't say the word rash because they are training every day so many students. They are a bit impatient. So don't take it to heart. They are good people. They just try to say in their language.
I know they don't get a lot of money for the salary. Yeah.
So they are impatient. So they might shout on you sometimes. Why are you going this side? Why are you going this side? But be cool. They are all good people. But
Yeah.
just take it in with a pinch of salt. Don't take it
Okay.
into heart. That's the
Okay,
only
thanks,
thing.
mate.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So there we have it, guys. Not an easy process, but if you put the effort in, like Chiru says just now, you can achieve it in 3 attempts for the road test. So if you like the content on this channel, please subscribe, and thanks for watching. Cheers.